What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Milwaukee coming back at you once again, and today we're going to be discussing Green Lantern: Rage of the Red Lanterns by Geoff Johns. Let's get into it. Green Lantern: Rage of the Red Lanterns comprises two stories. The first story arc focuses on the creation of the Alpha Lanterns, and it features art by Mike McKone. The story starts off with Hal Jordan talking with Sinestro, where Hal informs Sinestro that he is on death row, meaning that the Guardians have decided that they're going to execute him for his crimes against the Corps. Meanwhile, the Lost Lanterns, who are mourning a fallen Lantern who died during the Sinestro Corps War, they take his body back to his home planet, only to discover that Amon Sur, son of Abin Sur, has decided to go wipe out the population there and kill the fallen Lantern's family. Once discovered, Lyra, who was having a secret affair with the deceased Lantern, she goes into a rage and she ends up killing Amon Sur right there in cold blood. Because if we recall, the Guardians, they permitted the use of lethal force, and since Amon was a Sinestro Corps member, she felt justified in her actions here. But turns out the Guardians are going to see it a little bit different. Once back on Oa, Lyra has to stand trial for the murder of Amon Sur. And this is where the Guardians, they take the rest of the fallen Lanterns and they turn them into the Alpha Lanterns, which are basically a combination of the Manhunters and the Green Lanterns into one being. Because if we recall, the Guardians first created the Manhunters to police the universe, but then they found out that they were like faulty or whatever, so then they went to the Green Lantern Corps using sentient beings with power rings to police the universe. But now they're taking sentient beings and combining them with the Manhunter technology to create the Alpha Lanterns, and this is the next evolution in like Green Lanterns. And because the Alpha Lanterns are made out of the Fallen Lanterns, which were Lyra's little clique there, it's even more devastating to her because she sees that how inhuman they have become, and she's ultimately expelled from the Green Lantern Corps, and she goes on to become a Red Lantern. What do you know? It is here where the Guardians of the Universe, they decide to change another law in the Book of Oa. This new law says that lethal force can be used against all beings in the universe, not just Sinestro Corps members. Things are starting to unravel with the Guardians. Now, this is where we get to the second part of the story arc, Rage of the Red Lanterns. It starts off with a Final Crisis tie-in, I guess, because it says, Final Crisis on the cover. It features art by Shane Davis. So the Guardians have decided they're going to execute Sinestro, but they want to do it on his home planet of Korygar and really make a spectacle of it, right? So on their way to transport Sinestro back to his home planet of Korygar, the Yellow Lanterns ambush them in an attempt to free Sinestro. Well, while all this is going on, unbeknownst to anyone, here come the Red Lanterns, and they just lay waste to everybody, including Hal Jordan, whose ring gets depleted of energy, and he's going to start suffocating in space, only for him to be saved by the emergence of the Blue Lantern, Saint Walker. Saint Walker takes Hal Jordan to some planet, and Oris revealed Ganthet and Sade, they're there. They created the Blue Lanterns, as I mentioned before, and they're putting this new recruit through the paces to become a Blue Lantern, because it turns out, in order to be a Blue Lantern, you got to sacrifice a lot. It's here where Atrocitus, he has Sinestro because he captured him, because way back in Secret Origins, Sinestro re-imprisoned Atrocitus on that prison planet. So this whole time, Atrocitus, he's been holding his grudge, creating great rage, hence the formation of the Red Lanterns of Rage, right? So he's finally got Sinestro right where he wants him. He's crucified on this cross-like thing, and he's going to drain Sinestro's blood to create more power rings and just become more powerful, because the Red Lanterns, they sort of like run on blood or something like that. And it's here where he discovers Sinestro's secret, that he has a secret daughter back on Korygar, which is news to us who have been reading this whole time. So Hal and St. Walker and the new Blue Lantern recruit, they all go to the planet where Sinestro is being captured because apparently Ganthet needs Sinestro alive. He plays an important role in the War of Light that is yet to come. So they have marching orders to save Sinestro at all costs. Well, when they get there, the Yellow Lanterns show up and it's a big brawl. Sinestro ultimately gets free thanks to Hal Jordan, but Hal is convinced that he's going to execute Sinestro on behalf of the Guardians of the Universe. But before he gets the opportunity, Sinestro ends up killing Lyra right in front of Hal Jordan, which causes Hal Jordan to experience great rage. So you see where this is going? You guessed it. Hal becomes a Red Lantern, albeit briefly, and in his rage, when he's about to kill Sinestro once and for all, St. Walker slips a blue ring onto Hal's finger, and Hal Jordan then becomes like a hybrid green and blue lantern here. And needless to say, he's able to defeat Atrocitus, and we cut to Carol Ferris, who becomes a Star Sapphire. So, that's that. As far as things I enjoyed about the story arc, I really enjoyed the art. Yeah, we had 3 artists on the book, but they all held up their own end. And, Mike McKone, Shane Davis, I want to say Ivan Reyes, but I forgot to write the last guy's name down. But I'm pretty sure it's Ivan Reyes here, who is becoming Mr. Green Lantern, in my opinion. The art really holds up here, especially with the Red Lantern stuff, where they're barfing up the blood. We get introduced to the Red Lantern cat here. Was a fan favorite, I remember, from back in the day. I really liked Lyra's downfall here, from her killing Amon's sword to becoming the Red Lantern. And right when she was about to be redeemed, Sinestro comes in from behind and takes her out. Really furthers the Hal and Sinestro rivalry. It just goes to show that there's no wasted page space here in Geoff Johns' Green Lantern run. Everything has a purpose. It's a setup for something else. It has meaning. It has weight behind it. And that's the type of storytelling you can really get behind, because there's no fluff. There's no filler. It's all thriller. Am I going to leave that in? Probably. As far as dislikes, I got to be honest, I feel like the Blue Lanterns are really coming out of nowhere. But I guess that's what you got to do when you're on a time crunch. Not that they were necessarily on a time crunch. I don't actually know. But there was no volume for the Blue Lanterns, right? You get this is the Red Lantern introduction. The next volume, Agent Orange, is gonna introduce the Orange Lanterns. Even though they were kind of introduced here, there was a storyline where these guys were looking for the orange light source, and they find it, and it's gonna be expounded upon in the next volume. But the Blue Lanterns, really just being shoehorned in here, I guess. They're not bad as for lanterns are concerned, but I kind of wish we had a little bit more with them instead of them just being tacked on here to the Red Lanterns. But what could you do? So overall, at the end of the day, I'm gonna go ahead and give Green Lantern, Rage of the Red Lanterns, 4 out of 5. Pretty enjoyable. I said the art's great. It's all building towards Blackest Night here. And can't wait to get there. And until next time, see you there.